out there? You guys awake or what? All right, I don't think you guys are awake, so we're gonna have to wake you guys up, all right? So I want you guys to, you guys ready? You guys ready to have some fun or what? All right, everyone stand up, stand up. We're gonna get the music going. Ready? All right, all right, all right, all right. Give a high five to the person next to you and say, hey, let's do this. All right, take a seat, take a seat. My name is Sid Rivas, I'm SVP out of Boston, Massachusetts. I'm here to wake you guys up. I'm here to also to give you hope, to give you hope. All right, that's my job here today. So first thing I want to do is I want to thank the HALC. So give it up for the founders of the HALC. Give it up for the great Frank Dillon. All right, you guys do better than that. Do better than that. The great Henry Pimentel, Eddie Gonzalez, and Sandra Gonzalez. Give it up for them as well, too. And give it up for all these speakers that have been doing an outstanding job for you, man. All right. Also, I want to thank my team. I want to thank God most of all, because without him, we're not here, right? So give glory to God right now. Come on, guys. Wake up. There you go. There you go. There you go. All right. How you do this thing, man? Oh, okay.
There you go.
Perfect. All right, so look, like I told you, I'm ready to give you hope. That's where I lived back in 1995 when I saw the company Primerica, and that's what I looked like back in 1995. So there's hope for you, all right? Trust me, there's hope. I was very overweight, I was busted, broke, and disgusted, right? Then my first Primerica trip, back in 1995, I became an RVP. Actually, didn't become an RVP. I got my $50,000 watch. That's my daughter right there. We went to San Diego. Amazing time, man. My life started to change right before my eyes. I got promoted and I moved up, right? Lived in this house right here, this apartment complex, right there. Tiny little one-bedroom apartment. Became a regional vice president. And my daughter right there, the same little girl. I don't know if you guys ever felt this. You've got to get kids. Raise your hands if you get kids. All right, you know they are the reason, they are not the excuse, right? They are the reason, they're not the excuse. And that picture right there, I look at that picture sometimes, I remember her talking to me, say, Dad, don't go, Daddy, don't go. How many of you face that music, right? So you know what, you gotta make it count, man. You gotta make it count, you gotta go to work. Those kids need you. Right now, as a matter of fact, they're praying that everything you told them you were gonna do. They're hoping for you to get it done. They're hoping that you're going to take them to Universal Studios. Who's going to Universal Studios? This is me now. That's my house right there. That's my castle. 4th Diamond, SVP promotion. And that's how I feel. I don't know if you can see it, but I am Batman, just so you know. All right? So 73 Primerica trips only here, man. Listen, I used to be a psychologist. Went to college for a long time. I did 9 years worth of school, got 2 master's degrees, and I was making $63,000 a year when I started Primerica. Then over here, I saw an opportunity to be free. I come from El Salvador, from Honduras, and we came to this country literally, my parents with nothing. Literally with nothing. We were broke. We were on this side of the street. We weren't born with a silver spoon in our mouth, right? So I don't know if you can relate to that, but here's where you got your chance, man. Here's where you can make it happen and you can change things. Those are my kids. That's my reason right there. I know you got reasons too. That's my son right there. He went with me. He joined the business. He's right here. He's got 10 people with him right here. He's ready to pass the securities exam. He's only 19 years old. He had 4 scholarships to go to college. He said no. He goes, Dad, I want to do what you do. Listen, your actions speak louder than your words. So get out there. Your kids are watching you. You don't think they're watching you? When you're home and you're playing video games, which you should not be playing video games. If you're scrolling, you shouldn't be scrolling on social media. You should be fighting out there for them. That's him right there. Listen, I've been programming this kid since he was born. That's him reading Success Magazine at the age of 5. I'm not even kidding you. All right? That's him right there on the floor at the convention. All right? So guys, they do everything. They watch everything you do. So get ready. When you get home, you better get busy. I'm going to let you know, y no hacer lo que, okay, sinceramente. I'm just going to let you know that, right? So listen, dream come true. Only here in Primerica, man. I had a dream of getting my whole family together. So you know what? We're gonna make that dream come true. You know when? Mañana. taking a flight right out of here right tonight. We leave right after this, and we're flying to Roatan. That's the house that I rented right there. We got 18 of my family members there, paid for in full, man. And that's only in Prime America. There's no way in the world I would have been able to do that. No way in the world I'd be able to do that with a job. So if you guys think this is hard compared to what? You heard all these great speakers up here. They're pouring their heart out. But you know what? It became gradually and then suddenly. It didn't happen overnight. So some of you say, man, how come it doesn't happen for me? It will happen for you. I promise you. Look at how we grew. In 2022, my income was at $240,000. $240,000. And you know what? I was struggling. I'm not going to lie to you. I was struggling. I was hungry. I was looking for an opportunity. I was getting coached by the great Chris Chung, Frank Dillon. You know what? You guys got to get out there and you got to ask these guys for help. Don't be shy. Doesn't matter. You deserve the help if you go win. If you don't go win and you're not doing anything, then, you know, it doesn't really matter what they say to you. You got to get into the field. You got to get down and dirty. All right? So when you do that, you can ask for help. Look at our recruiting went up 38%. Our income's at 406. Our recruiting went up 38%. Code numbers went up 31%. Life and securities, our production went up 70%. 5.5 million career cash, over 2,000 shares. You understand, 2,000 shares in an RVP. I don't know who said it, but the better you guys do, the better we do. So guess what we want from you? We want you to do outstanding. We want you to do tremendous, all right? Because our job becomes easier, and you want to be where we're at. I promise you. I know some of you have stomach pains. It's Saturday right now. Tomorrow night, some of you are going to have belly aches. You know why? Because you got a job to attend the next day. How much longer are you going to go through that? How much longer are you going to keep promising to your kids, to your loved ones, that someday we're going to make it happen? Let me help you with something. You got to identify what your why is. My why is my family, man. Those are my kids. I'll fight for them. I'll fight to the end. Anyone that says anything bad about Prime America, they got to be ready to fight me, man, because this is your dream that you're defending. I don't know how you feel about that. You got to love this thing. You got to be passionate about it, right? You have to understand your desire to your why. ¿Cuál es su porqué? You got to identify that. It can't be just money. It can't just be material things, man. And it can't be a grilled cheese either. But let me tell you about that. I'm going to be straight. I'm going to be transparent. You guys want real? All right, listen, like I said, I'm hope. I'm that guy, man. Yeah, I came out strong. I became a VP in 18 months. Got my ring in 2 years. But then that's when I thought I made it. I never made that kind of money before. And I laid there. I laid flat for a long time. Let me tell you a story. I remember during a training, the tow truck came. And one of my guys said, hey, coach, they're towing your car. I said, oh, yeah, it needs to get fixed. No, it wasn't. That was the repo man towing my car. But you know what? We had a great training that day. Another training, the lights went out. I had 60 people there in an op meeting. Didn't pay the bill. Carlos taught me this one, Gonzalez. Sign your first name, don't sign your last. It'll buy you a week when you send in the check. Didn't work. They shut off the lights. Right? But we had a great meeting that meeting. Everyone pulled out their phones, right, for light, and we recruited 10 people that day. I'll never forget that. All right? So you do what you got to do. Listen, over $500 1 year in overdraft fees. Over $500. My guys never knew that. My kids never knew that. My family never knew that. You don't need to tell them the pain you go through. You just go through it, man, and you fight through it. But the one that changed my life, because we all have defining moments, was this one in the back. It was a day when my kids like, Daddy, 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 we want to go out. We haven't seen you, because I was working, man. I was killing it. We just kept going. And I remember that day like yesterday. And I said, listen, we're going to go to Boston. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the electric bill money and we're going to take you guys up. I didn't tell them that, but that's in my head. I'm saying, I got this closer's lay down. It was a referral. I'm going to go close it. While I go, we drive. We're all happy. I get there. My kids, Zachary's only, I think, like 5, 6 years old. My daughter, Nicolette, the one you guys saw in the beginning, she was like 7 or 8 years old. And we get to the house. They stay in the car. I go upstairs. I go to close. I ask for Social Security. Guess what? He don't have one. I said, you got a tax ID. Guess what? No tiene. I said, man, no closer. No closer. I come down, man. I was down. The kids look at me, Dad, we're hungry. Zach said, we're hungry, we're hungry. I didn't know what to do, man. I can get emotional just thinking about that day, to be very honest with you. And I said to him, I said, listen, we're gonna change it to a camping. We're gonna change it to a camping. we're gonna have a camping trip. They're like, yeah, let's have a camping trip. So we went to a local Price Right, was the cheapest supermarket in the area at that time, right? Got a loaf of bread, some processed cheese, and those little sugar drinks. You know what I'm talking about? And a bag of chips. And I said, guys, we're gonna camp out where? Right here, right now, in the car. So I turned on the heat, put 2 skewer sticks to the bread, some cheese, and turned up the heat, and we grilled with the heater, the grilled cheese. These kids were pumped up. They were laughing, they're having a grand old time. But deep in my heart, Eddie, I was dying. I said, I can't do this anymore. Mind you, I was at 105,000 of income at that point. I said, I can't do this no more. I gotta make a change. Right? And I did, man. I went for it and life changed. I'm telling you, one of these days, you guys got to do that. Like Chris says, you got to create an urgency before the emergency. And that was a life-defining moment for me at that moment. Right, guys? So that's, every time I look at that, man, it gets me motivated, keeps me going. So this is what we did. Extreme focus on building relationships, man. You got to love all over your people, no matter what they do. You got to put on that face and love on them, right? Attendance. You got to show up to PFSU, man. Show up and be there. Encourage them. Make sure you call them. Let them know, right? Oops. Trainings. Your trainings got to be like a wedding, man. The great Rich Cohen always taught me that. He said, Sid, your trainings need to be like a wedding. They got to be excited, man. Our trainings are like a freaking rock concert. You come there, we got the lights, we got the whole thing, man. You got to plug into life study. We got people, my son Zachary, they do trainings to help people pass their state exam on their own time. So you got to develop that as well too. We do it English and Spanish. And we use Telegram. I don't know if you guys use Telegram, but we use Telegram daily, consistently. And we recognize people left and right on that. As well, we increased our social media, right? Chris is right. You shouldn't be on social media just dibble-daddling, right? You should be on there growing your business, seeing who you can prospect through there. If they don't have a market, teach them about social media so they can create a market. Focus on field training bonuses. Focus on getting people to trips. I remember 2 years ago, we had 2 people going. Now we get 10 people going on trips, right? Fast and Furious, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, accountability calls. Find out what they need. You got to be the first voice they hear. It's got to be inspiration. It's got to be excited for them, right? We started an RVP factory. We promoted 3 regional vice presidents, doing an outstanding job, and then created a self-improvement program, man. You got to have faith before you can believe, before you can see it, man. You got to have faith in yourself and make it happen, man, because we're going to skip right over that. We're going to go right to here, right to the end. Listen, man, we're all Latinos. This is what you look like. This is what our ancestors look like. They're strong. They're Hispanic, just like you. You guys ready? You guys Hispanic? You guys Latino? You guys awake or what? Listen to me, man. You got to go through it. No matter what, you got to believe that you can get it done. You got to dig deep and find out what's stopping you, what's preventing you from taking the next step, what's preventing you from making it happen, man. There's something that's stopping you, and you better identify what it is. You got to find it. You got to work on it and get better, because if you don't, I got news for you, it's going to make you inferior. It's going to make you weak. And when you have those kind of feelings, nothing good happens. You got to dig deeper, and you got to identify what's going to be the thing that's going to make you better. You got to find the victories in your life. Identify what made you better there and put it into your plan here in Primerica and make it happen, guys. Listen, I love you. I'll see you guys all Universal Studios. Let's tear it up. Yeah.